All right, ladies and gents, it's a couple of days before Christmas. We're going to use our AI student driver considering we got an update from yesterday. So yesterday we were on 13.2.1, no holiday update. Now we're on 13.2.2 with the holiday update. And, you know, a couple of days before Christmas, you couldn't ask for a better time to receive it. We over here at this household, we're going to have some guests over. We'll be utilizing our AI student driver to give them an experience with alien technology. And we're going to feed them, we're going to give them gifts or whatever. And hopefully everybody has a happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all those that celebrate. And yeah, let's get this to Bill Archer Dog Park because Chewbacca, he hadn't had his morning walk yet. He's a little anxious, probably needs to evacuate his bowels. So let's get it going. We're gonna have Santa mode engaged, filling in the spirit. All right, so this is our inaugural drive with 13.2.2. 13.2.1 was absolutely amazing. And to know that the software is only going to get better from here, holy smokes. So, you know, when I get back, I did a video with the Model 3 just to, you know, use the FSD, get a feel for where I want the camera placements to be and how I want it to be recorded. So the video, it's still got some of the stabilization on there and I forgot to take it off. So the video's a little, you know, it could get you seasick if you're not careful. So, you know, word of caution there. But Chewbacca in the Model 3, he's anxious. Like now, I think switching back from vehicle to vehicle, he gets a little antsy. Like, you know, like humans, I suppose dogs want consistency, stability. So, but I think the Model 3 is beautiful. As soon as we get version 13 on it, I will be in that more times than not. But as Panda is getting the updates a little bit faster, we're definitely going to showcase inaugural drives on the latest software that we get. And we're gonna, you know, try to get it out there. We normally would go to Beverly Kaufman, but you know, I figured we'd go to Bill Archer. It's a little cloudy, so we're not gonna get some of the sunrise situations, I'd imagine. But we try to switch it up. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. Southeast Texas, it's not too terribly cold. We keep bundled up in preparation for cold weather, but I guarantee you in the mid-afternoon it'll be close to 70. So we get winter at night and we get fall during the day. I haven't experienced any winter so far this year, and we're just a couple of days from Christmas. So we'll see what it looks like in January and February, but you know, gotta love this Texas weather. So, and this is a little bit fast. We are in hurry mode, so now we got the hurry profiles not only in the highway, we have them on the city streets now. I have a feeling I'm going to take Yosh-chan's profile. She's gonna go standard, and on the way back we'll probably engage in standard just to see. Hurry mode, we are hurrying. So if you're late for work or late for an appointment, our AI student driver will get you there quick, fast, and in a hurry, like it has been doing right now. But typically I personally like leaving the house early enough so that I don't need to hurry and I can just enjoy the drive. Even though it is in hurry mode, there is no, like, it was very comfortable. It felt like I was driving, right? It didn't feel, there's no hitch in that giddy up. You know what I mean? Even though it was in hurry mode, there was no urgency that felt like an ambulance or something, right? Everything still felt fairly safe. So we're, you know, a measured hurry, so to speak. And I was just, you know, wondering, like, man, we're moving right along. And of course, yeah, now we got the hurry profiles on the city streets. We were going about, I don't know, closer to 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, but it felt so absolutely natural. Here, now, this Dodge in front of us is also blocking this yield. I would kind of prefer not to do this, especially if we're not making this feeder entry here. It's just common courtesy for the individuals that are trying to use this to not have it blocked by individuals going straight. It's just my personal preference. Nothing illegal, nothing crazy. And we get the green light and we continue to move forward. But, you know, little preference things. I probably wouldn't have gotten over to the right-hand lane unless I was going to hit that feeder. That's just me personally. It's a Monday morning, the Monday before Christmas. I don't think there's a lot of schools in session right now. People are still going to work though, so the roads aren't empty. Got the yellow light. Our AI student driver handles this perfectly. Perfect distance from the vehicle in front of us. There's nothing alarming about it. We come to a clean stop. Ain't that right, Chew? So, yeah, I can't wait to get FSD version 13 on the new Model 3. Just playing with the settings, and it's a beautiful. It's so much different because I had a 2020 Model 3. That was the first, my entry into the Tesla family was that 2020 Model 3. It might have been the 2019, I'm not sure, I can't remember, but Stygian, yeah, that allowed me to realize I needed to be investing in the company instead of just buying the products. Obviously, I want my family to be the safest it possibly can be. So I knew I was going to, you know, when Yosh-chan was like, I want a Model Y, there was no hesitation because she's on the road quite a bit. And I'd rather her be in the safest vehicle known to man in that Model Y. Then I traded in my Model 3 and bought more Tesla stock simply because I think I had 12,000 miles on it in a matter of 2.5-3 years. So that was, you know, it was just a build that it was nice to have, but with her having the Model Y and me not driving so much, I figured I'd rather have that in Tesla stock, options, what have you. So we did that. But now I didn't have FSD, which I kind of beat myself up for. I should have just did the safety score stuff and tested, been an early beta tester with my Model 3. But you know, can't go back in the DeLorean without changing a bunch of stuff. So we're here now. We're doing what we got to do to make sure that this software, one, that we're experiencing it so we know where we're putting our money when we put the stock in, and then two, just helping out the AI team as best we can as an individual to see this technology come to fruition. I can't wait because it'll save so many lives. 40,000 plus deaths on US highways. Our distractions aren't becoming any less on the road. People are tired, people are working. It's crazy. We need to remove the human element as fast as we possibly can. So, but yeah. Fast forward to today, we trade in the Model Y. We decide to upgrade to the lap of luxury, which is the Model S, X, and Cybertruck series. There is a notable difference, like the video I'll be uploading as soon as we get back from the dog park, from the 3Y to the SX section of the vehicles and their lineup. So they're going to come out with these cheaper, more affordable models. And they're going to be great, but there is going to be a noticeable difference, I'd imagine, between the 3 and Y vehicles, right? Just like there's a notable difference between the S and X vehicles compared to 3 and Y. So whatever's in your budget, you're still going to get the best vehicle on 4 wheels, but there are some subtle differences. Just sitting, because I've been in the Model 3 for the past few days, there's just more room up here. I'm a bigger cat, so that's really important to me. And the technological differences, the automatic doors, everything feels just intuitive when you're in the SX and Cybertruck, I'd imagine. So yeah, all these vehicles, whatever you can get with the Tesla logo on it, and in some cases, you know, if it's a Cybertruck, you don't need a logo, right? I would highly recommend it. This is the best thing you get on 4 wheels, as technology is the new luxury. And no matter what Tesla you get, apparently, you're more than likely going to have a version of FSD, which is, to me, invaluable. So, a lot of birds out today. So, anybody scared of these birds is like, I don't know, hundreds of birds on these telephone wires. Or maybe, just maybe, they're Chinese drones. Oh, Tesla, loving it. No, I don't buy that. Yeah, you missed me with that one. But yeah, we're out here, outskirts of the Houston area, Katy, Texas, and we're headed to Bill Archer Dog Park. It's a relatively quiet morning as we close out the year of 2024, which has been truly a roller coaster ride if you've been holding TSLA for this year. And let's just say it turned out pretty good after the election. So 2025 stands to be historic. I fully expect there to be a unsupervised version of FSD in many, well, I wouldn't say many parts of the country, but in enough parts of the country where it's going to be noticeable, especially to the people on Wall Street. On top of that, I expect the energy division this will be the year of energy for sure. Like, it is the unsexy part of Tesla's business, but it's going to be a very lucrative part, especially as the battery factory in China gets up and running. Megapacks stand to be a fast-growing business, more so than the vehicles, in my personal opinion. We got a yellow light, and I do believe that seemed like it was going to be worse than it was. But our AI student driver, let me check behind us. Our AI student driver did it noticed it was yellow, probably made a calculations like, well, it'll probably turn red if we're in the intersection. Let me go ahead and make this measured descent in miles per hour. It was comfortable. Chewbacca didn't fly into the dashboard, and we hit the green light, we hit the yellow light like we're supposed to, and stop for the red. I love it. Very comfortable. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, FSD plans to go internationally. I fully expect to see that in China. We're getting actual Smart Summon videos coming out of there, and some in Europe. We'll see how Europe goes, but I fully expect to see the Pacific region utilizing some FSD features. So that'll be exciting. Cheaper models. I fully expect that to happen by the end of Q2 2025. There will be a product unveil of the unboxed process mixed with the 3 and Y lines, considering there'll be some attrition of the 3 and Y vehicles when these vehicles become available to order. That makes a lot of sense, really. Then I wouldn't be surprised if some of these other factories that are pending start to get fast-tracked, and we see a massive growth in vehicle deliveries heading into 2026, where it'll be astronomical growth. That's just me being optimistic, but the return of growth when it comes to vehicle deliveries, we're here. We're going about 6 miles over the speed limit, a very comfortable speed and hurry mode. I don't know, I'm gonna stick to hurry mode, and if a cop wants to pull me over, I guess I'll have to deal with those consequences. But it's not like the vehicle is flying, it's just really keeping up with a nice flow of traffic. But for yours, Chad, I think I'm gonna put it on standard until she gets more acclimated with the software like I am. She only engages it when she's not in a hurry. She likes driving. Me, I never want to drive. And if I have a VA appointment, this is the software I'm going to use, because it seems to be like it wants me to get to my destination like I would want, right? So there's a yellow light right there, and instead of the measured descent in miles per hour like we experienced previously, it powered through it. There was no hesitation, knew it was going to make the yellow light, so it did it. I can't ask for a better transaction on the city streets. This is, I like what I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen, but I've been saying that for a while now. Just know that every time there's an update, the software will be better than it was before, which is kind of remarkable. Yeah, we are really close to an unsupervised version of this going out to consumers, which then will be not very long when Tesla starts making revenue per mile on millions of vehicles across the country and soon the world. I don't think people really grasp the implications of Tesla running an autonomous ride-hail business versus, say, an Uber, Lyft, or even a Waymo, who couldn't possibly scale to the size of what Tesla could do with an over-the-air software update. It's going to be winner take most, as Kathy Wood would say. And I think that's an understatement. That's still an understatement. This is the smooth, and I'm not even driving. This is insane how this is now not only the task of driving is exhausting mentally and physically. Not, I mean, you got your hands on the wheel, you're pressing the pedals. Physically, it's not exhausting. But for someone like me, mentally, I am constantly worried about not getting into a fatal accident, whether it be with another vehicle, pedestrian, cyclist. All of this stuff weighs heavy on my mind, making me even more exhausted than I would if this was like on a track and it was just me. Like, I'm not too terribly concerned if I injure myself, because that would be my fault, but to maim or murder someone with a vehicle, that really takes a lot of weight off of me. And I can't stress that enough. When I go from point A to point B, and this vehicle is doing it better, more safe than I ever could, I am grateful. I don't need to drive, especially if there is a percentage of me hurting someone versus that percentage being much, much lower if our AI student driver is in control. And I think we've crossed that for me at version 12. You know, in version 11, I was like, I'm probably still safer than this thing. This thing will make dumb mistakes here and there. I'm supervising it a whole lot more. Version 12, I was like, yeah, even with some of these minor corrections that I have to do, this thing is still safer than me in over 95% of situations. With version 13, and they're adding these features, these park assist features, you can gauge FSD from park. They're gonna fine tune some of these parking lot situations to where it becomes even second, just an afterthought. It just parked itself, or it's going to give you like a pullover option, a curbside option, a garage option, and it's just going to be super smooth, super efficient, and it's going to do 100% of my driving better than I possibly could. That's game changing. That's game breaking. That's revolutionary. That's any other superlative that you want to add. I mean, I remember a year and a half ago, this would have been deathly terrifying. Now it's now it's like climbing in an elevator and pressing the button and being shocked if something does go wrong. That's where we're at right now, and it's amazing to see. So we've just crossed onto Highway 6. That makes sense, right? Let me check. Yep, Highway 6 North, and we're about to hit Bill Archer Dog Park in about half a mile. This was a perfect drive, which I didn't expect anything else, right? This is the first time we've experienced 13.2.2, the first time we've taken this route with this software, and it's flawless. I guess it's a little early. Let's see how it handles the destination, which is going to need some fine-tuning regardless, I'd imagine, but we're getting there, ladies and gents. All right, so we're here. We're gonna make this right turn. We're good to go. Now let's see the parking lot shenanigans. Where does it want to stop us? Oh, okay. That was a bit jerk movement right there. It didn't know where it wanted to park, but let's see what we got here. Perfect so far. Will it park itself? Is there a prompt for me to park? What we got? Okay. All right. Holy shit, we're finna do something. Oh! The first time the vehicle has parked itself perfectly for me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go give Chewbacca his much needed relief, and we'll be right back. All right. The problem with Bill Archer Dog Park is that maybe I should wipe his paws off before I let him back in the car, but this is the price we pay for dog ownership. We're gonna have dirty interior a little bit. We did a couple of laps. I'm still riding high off of what I witnessed on the way over here. Fairly simple drive, but without a shadow of a doubt, let me see. I'm gonna put it back in park here. I think I got a little anxious. I want to see how we handle, like, I don't think we can start it right now. Like, I'd love to just. So I don't think it'll engage from here, which is fine. Let me see if I go forward. Will it do it? Yeah, it's weird. It won't do it if we're going in reverse. But if we go forward, our guy will do it. Weird. All right, we'll go forward. We're gonna hit the button, and it reverses. Who am I to tell the car what it can and cannot do? That's amazing. Oh yeah, that's my first time experiencing reverse with FSD. So that's pretty dope right there. The parking lot shenanigans. Do we say it's conquered? No parking lot shenanigans to or fro. That's a first. We got a U-turn coming up here. So let's see how our AI student driver FSD 13.2.2 manages to pull off this maneuver. Okay. We're still in hurry mode. I need to be reminded to put this into standard mode for Yosh-chan. Remind me. Chewbacca. All right. We're good there. All right, so not a lot of cars preventing us from making this U-turn right here. Our AI student driver knocks it out the park. Yeah, your boy likes that, right? Even me, when I'm making this angle, part of me would have just hit the car and put it in reverse just to make sure I made that angle. But the vehicle knows it's not gonna hit that curb, continues on, and does it better than I possibly could. That's the theme of this drive, ladies and gentlemen. The vehicle driving better than I ever could. I'm all about this life. Yeah, we're here. This is the future of mobility. This is the future of mobility, ladies and gentlemen. If this is my only Christmas present, I would be more than happy for that to be the case. FSD is that good. This is the only present that you would want to give your loved ones if you care about their safety. You know, quality of life is just one mere aspect of this being the reason why Teslas are the best thing on four wheels. But safety, ugh. If you love your family, if you love your friends, make sure that they're in Teslas. That's what I'm trying to do now. Before it was like, oh, they're in an EV, oh, that's good, EVs, yay. I mean, obviously an internal combustion engine is not where we want to be, all right? That's just fact. And EV, like I applaud Ford, GM making their EV. That's where the future is. I don't want to see these institutions that have been a part of my entire life fade into nothing. But let's be honest, those cars are nothing compared to what Tesla can. And, you know, even if they had FSD, the efficiency of a Tesla is leaps and bounds, right? You're talking about maintenance, you're talking about the software. If we want to see Ford and GM survive the next decade, licensing Tesla software, let alone the FSD, just, it would go a long way. You know, they're beat, they're licked. Tesla's going to dominate the automobile industry from a software perspective alone. Not to mention the physical quality of these vehicles has improved dramatically since I bought my first Model 3. This Model X is proof positive that this is the most luxurious. And I'm watching other Teslas, they still got their hands on the wheel. And that's where we're going to have to break that, right? This is the next phase in mobility, either way. So I guess my main point is I'll never get another vehicle that doesn't have FSD. And it'd be tough for me, very, very tough for me to get another vehicle that doesn't have Tesla software in general, just their UI and all this stuff. The app, it's so intuitive. It's almost as if they made it for customer satisfaction versus, you know, the company satisfaction. Everybody at the Tesla, you know, Elon Musk drives Teslas, right? If the richest man in the world is utilizing the product versus any other, like, you couldn't give me a Lamborghini, you couldn't give me a Ferrari. If it doesn't have FSD in it, I'm not driving it. And it's hands down. Like, I don't want any other vehicle because of this software. Now, let's imagine, like, Lucids are beautiful creatures, right? These Lucid Air and whatnot, their cars are well made. They're not making any money off of them. As a matter of fact, they're losing 2 Model X's with every one that they sell, which is a lot, people. That's damn near $200,000 with every Lucid vehicle that's sold. That company loses a ton of money. but they've got high quality, you know, it's not a bad vehicle. It just isn't a Tesla. And if you substitute that Lucid software for Tesla software and give it FSD, oh my goodness, you guys have no idea the comfortability on, see, we got a human error right here. And our AI student driver handles this better than I possibly could. And they've worked it out. You guys have to really sit in these vehicles to understand how good this software really is. That, you know, and the car with the trailer, the truck with the trailer is in error, right? He's got to yield. He's the one with the yield sign, and the guy making, I have to look at the tape, but anybody coming from this main branch of the road has the right of way. But our guy in the yield sign thought he was good to go and put his ass out there. It was rectified, no accident this time, but we need to remove the human element of driving so that, you know, especially for the holidays, people go home and get to be with their families. Less tears shed. That's all I want. It's more people to have an opportunity to impact society in a positive way. So, yeah, I just, would I buy Lucid if the app functioned, you know, where I could control my vehicle like it does through the app? I could monitor it. There's a, you know, pet mode, right? Like dog mode, where I could leave Chewbacca in the vehicle and go pick up something and he'd be safe. I know that a pet nor a child would die in that vehicle should they be left in it in the hot summer months of Texas and the ridiculously harsh winters of wherever else there's harsh winter. You know what I mean? Like, Tesla has done so much to make sure that their vehicle is not only the best thing on four wheels, it's the most intuitive thing. Like, it'd be tough for me to go to a different EV, even if they had an app and it was similar. Tesla's ecosystem is what will keep me buying Teslas from now until my dying day. And if I'm not buying Teslas, I'll be using Teslas through the ride hail app, because I know the software is going to be the safest thing that could possibly be out there. The one that could go to the most locations, have the safest routes and the fastest routes. Kudos to Waymo and what they're doing. It is better than a human driver, hands down. So they have a purpose. But when you try to compare it to Tesla and what Tesla is going to be able to do, there's no comparison. It's going to be an entirely different size and scope of impact that Tesla will have with their driverless ride hail. So, you know, even if another auto manufacturer had everything that was comparable, but it just wouldn't be Tesla. You know what I mean? It would just be some off-brand offshoot. And even if they were to license FSD, I guess if I'm not driving, or if I, you know, it's like a minimal thing where I'm interacting with the car, I could see it. I could see other vehicles like Lucids and Rivians on the network if they can get the sensor suite right. I mean, if Tesla's FSD can work on Cybertruck, Model X, these are bigger vehicles, Model S, they're different dimensions. This is Tesla proving that you could slap this suite and neural nets on these vehicles and it would drive just as good as a Model 3 or Model Y, right? So there is some work that would need to be done. And if these companies, GM, Ford, are you listening? If you plan to survive, your vehicles are going to not only need to be electric, but autonomous. And GM's already packed it in. They know that they can't do a robo-taxi service, and they're hoping that the Cruise being folded into GM helps them with technology on a personal car ownership basis. You're going backwards, ladies and gentlemen. They're going backwards. That's not how it's supposed to work. And that's the type of executive decisions, and even the layman like myself can see that GM is rudderless. They are out in the middle of the ocean, rudderless. It just feels like there is no, whereas Tesla's direction is consistent. They might be late on some things, but it's almost like you know what the mission is, and it's a consistent progression toward that goal. And eventually, like, I bought this car, it drives itself. The next logical progression is you could remove me from this seat and it drive on its own, completing rides to individuals. You know, it just seems like Tesla's on a path that is consistent with their mission and progressing in the right direction. I just couldn't imagine going back to the horse and carriage over here. I just couldn't imagine it. Like I said, we're in the hurry mode. Our vehicle is not whipping through traffic, but consistently going faster than the speed limit in a measured, safe way. Like it has intent, like it has purpose. Not being content with just riding behind a very slow-moving vehicle for whatever reason. I like what I'm feeling. I like what I'm seeing. And it's something that you have to experience, right, Chu? Let me go ahead and... We got a yellow light here. And it really did turn red while we were in the middle of the intersection. So that might have been an instance where we could have broke, but we were going over 50 miles an hour. To brake would have probably been a little harsh, regardless of how smooth our AI student driver does it. And it made an executive decision to just proceed, much like I would, which is kind of scary. So if a cop wanted to pull us over for running a red light, I guess that would be on him, and we'll take that on the chin. The car is doing nothing that I wouldn't do personally in a hurried setting, except for the fact it's doing it much safer than I ever could. I don't know how I can beat this drum home enough. This car, this Model X, easily worth $100,000 when you add up all of the taxes, fees. We bought FSD outright on it. And it's worth every penny. My Model 3 cost a little under $40,000. Once it gets version 13, it'll feel like a $100,000 vehicle because I don't have to drive it. The gravity of this situation, right? You're going to probably drive more, and your maintenance costs, depending on where you live, will be subject to change. But without a shadow of a doubt, if you're driving this thing more, you're gonna wear out the tires faster. That's the only real expense that I've ever considered in my almost 5 years of Tesla ownership is tires. I think we had to repair a cracked windshield, but in the Model X, we've seen rocks almost the size of fucking bricks hit this windshield, and it's unscathed. So if you get one of the higher end models, the S, the X, or the Cybertruck, you don't even have to worry about scratches or dents in the wind, you know. And my wife drives this I-10 damn near every day. Westheimer, rocks, pebbles, hitting the windshield all day, every day, right? You know, I'm sure the coating of the body of the car, I think we foregone, whatever. We didn't get the ceramic coatings. I don't know if we intend to do that, but it is worth it. I did it on my Model 3, we did it on the Model Y, and those cars, their resale values, it was noticeably higher because we did the protective paint. I really am not rushing because I plan to own these vehicles for the life of us. If we have to replace the battery, we have to replace the batteries. But I don't expect to do too much of trading in with the Model X or the Model 3 at all. These will be our daily drivers, one for her to get to work and me to test out FSD versions. As soon as our 2025 Model 3 starts getting on these other branches, I expect it to receive the latest and greatest updates along with Panda, if not faster. So it's just nice to experience this, know that all of the money that I have in TSLA is there with a reason, is there because of a reason. And the fact that I get to experience this firsthand, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if the stock dropped $200 today. I don't give a shit. I will buy more because I know where the company is headed. It's not going to be making revenue. It's not going to be making revenue per vehicle as much as it'll be making revenue per mile. And there's so many aspects of this business where they have the brightest minds tackling the most difficult problems the world has ever seen. I would welcome a healthy pullback to get us back down to 200, and I'm making long calls that would expire in 27, 28, and just, you know, watch the money pile up, and the bears can naysay all they want. You know, the company being overvalued. I guess it depends on when you're looking at the company, because to me, this is extremely undervalued for what it'll be worth. We got the yellow light coming up. Our vehicle makes a gradual descent of the miles per hour, and we're good to go. This, oh my goodness, considerably undervalued for what it'll be worth in the next couple of years, let alone the next decade. I'm getting my money in while I can, while it's still relatively low. Not financial advice, because I don't, what you eat don't make me shit, so I'm not going to be listening to you. I listen to what I experience. And what I'm experiencing right now with version 13.2.2, this is flawless. This is absolutely flawless. And I'm, like I said, I'm not going through a gauntlet. I'm not trying to put, I'm doing my daily driving. The usefulness of this software is what I'm trying to gauge. The average person isn't going to be going, you know, doing various, like I could take this thing downtown and put it through a ringer, but I'm not going downtown every day. And if I was and there was a problem, I would highlight that shit, because I want the Tesla AI team to fix it for my own comfort and my own ability to not have to drive. So there was a lot of construction around my house. We were having trouble with those red blinking reds, or the lights that were out. I would report that every time, and lo and behold, the vehicle got better at managing those situations. I'm not trying to put it through the ringer. I just want it to work good for me, and that's pretty selfish, but damn, you know, what can I say? If it works good for me, it should work good for my neighbor, and it will allow me to allow them to test the vehicle. And if it works for me, it damn sure works for you, neighbor. So that's what we need. You know, make sure it works for your daily commutes, and then spread that news, you know, and brighten your neighbor's day, right? It's not about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about making sure that your neighbors are safe, if you like them, you know what I mean? You know, I'm not trying to showboat with these videos. I'm not, look at me. I just want everyone to experience this. I never thought I would be in a Model X. It was my dream car back in 2020. When I got the Model 3, I wanted the X, but I couldn't afford it. It didn't make sense at the time. And then I started saving money from my vehicle. Like I spent more money on the Model 3, but over the duration, and especially when we got the Y, we saw gas savings, maintenance savings. It started to erode over time, especially our consistent monthly expenses, right? We saw the initial expense raised our car note up, but all the other expenses mitigated that basically eventually it'll be a one-time increase of the loan payment, right? When we pay off these vehicles, the expense report on our monthly expenses for automobiles is going to be significantly lower. So it's all about what you're willing to sacrifice, right? Buying the Model 3 for the first time, that was the most expensive car note I'd ever had, but I started to cut back on some of these things I did not need or require. I wanted the car more than I wanted some of these other things. And that's what, when you're buying these vehicles, you're going to make concessions in other areas, but is it worth it to you? And that's, to me, Tesla versus the horse and carriage to my right, it might be cheaper, but I'll be damned if I go back. You know, I'll make concessions everywhere else. But when we're talking about 40,000 plus deaths on US highways, I want to be in the safest thing in case something happens. You know, we almost witnessed a wreck just a few minutes ago. And it can happen at any time. Somebody could be tired, somebody could be distracted, and then change your life forever. I want to be in the safest vehicle that's going to allow me, Chewbacca, and my wife, I guess I put that in the wrong order, but I want everybody that's in my vehicle to survive. And Teslas, to me, that's the only answer. Then you go into the convenience, the fact that I'm not driving. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. All right, we're coming up on the tail end of the video. I just wanted to get my initial reaction and responses to our AI student driver FSD 13.2.2, and in a word, impressive, ladies and gentlemen, impressive. Go ahead and get out there if you know somebody with a Tesla and ask them what version they're on and see if you can test it. Even if it's on 12.5.x, you need to get in there if you haven't done it before. But if they've got 13, you need to try to let them, you know, let you experience it, especially if you're a Tesla investor. Know where your money is going, and to me, I feel like I need to buy more. There is no number to where I'm like, it's enough. So looks like I'll be buying some more Tesla stock today. I don't care where it's at, because in 2 years we're talking about a 3x minimum, and you know, that's probably pretty conservative, because as the picture gets painted more clearly, this is not your daddy's automobile company. We're looking at some kind of metamorphosis akin to Apple or Amazon. Well, that's all I got for you today. Be easy. Peace.